Hello everyone, this is Eric from Edicute coming to you live from Busan. Now this is different from being at home. I actually came to visit a friend in a city in in Korea called Busan, and this is the famous Gwangan Bridge. I thought I'd make it special and come out here and give you some different scenery that you can see. And I hope the noise isn't too bad and you can see me well. Hope it doesn't shake too much. But I've got a very important topic I'm going to talk about tonight. I'll try and keep it steady and let me know if the sound works. If you have any questions or you want to say anything, please add it in. Hi, who's here? Okay, yeah, so this weekend I came to Gwangan and Busan is a large city. Elsa! It's been so long. How have you been? Right now, what do you think? Does it look good? Is the sound okay? And what do you think of the view? It's a really nice beach here. The place is called Gwangali here in Busan. And I thought I'd come out here. I'm on the roof of, wow, and how have you been? I'm on the roof of a coffee shop. And yeah, I just came to meet a friend because it's so strange being back in the city. I actually lived here for 5 years before moving to my new city. And my new city, it's kind of boring and lonely. So I thought, why not come down and do something else? So today's topic is actually a very difficult one. It's all about inappropriate student behavior. Especially one of my viewers, Dua, she said, Eric, I've got a problem with some of my male students looking at me not as a teacher but as a woman, right? They look at her face and she can feel them looking at her. And she said, how do I deal with it? And I thought this is a really important topic and one that I'm not familiar with because I'm a guy, but I thought I'd do some research and I'll also talk to some female teachers. Hello everyone, you can say hello, and if you have any questions or anything you want to talk about, put it in. Oh, somebody just dropped their drink down there. Yeah, this is Gwangan Bridge in Busan. I hope it doesn't shake too much. I don't have my tripod with me. I'm not at home for this episode. I came to visit a friend, so I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a different view. I'm going to give you a 360. So I'm on the top of a motel, not my motel, but I'm on top of a roof here in Busan. It's a beach area called Gwangan. Yeah, so my topic today is student attention, and I did some research and I had a harsh week. Okay, well, I hope I can share some ideas or at least, get you ready for tomorrow. Someone's shooting fireworks down there. As you can see, it's actually supposed to be illegal, but people do it too. Hi, Mom. Okay, so I talked to some teachers who are experienced and who have to deal with it. And so first I'm going to, man, that's annoying. At first it's nice, but then it gets too much. So first I'm going to talk about some of the things that some of the teachers, the ideas they shared with me, and then I'll give my own opinion on it. I hope it ends soon. I hope it isn't too loud. So one of the things is that we've always, I think everybody needs a good boost of confidence every time. So here's the thing. We can't stop attraction. Sorry about that. Yeah, so kids will always, it's natural for kids to be attracted to boys for boys to be attracted to female teachers and girls to be attracted to some male teachers. It's only natural. We can't control everything, but there are things that we can do to not escalate it, not to make it bad. I think, a lot going on in the background, cleaning up, but I guess that's what you get if you go live outside. So here's what I spoke to some experienced teachers, and here's what they told me. I spoke to Dudu. and she sent me many messages and we talked about it. She was very helpful, and she said, okay, number one, most important thing is if you notice that some of the boys give you too much attention, you've got to look at the school policy. What does the school policy say about that? Second, she said, it's important to get some real role models to talk to the students if you feel like it's going to a different level. Because I actually, from my experience, this happened to me when I was teaching elementary school. Some boys made a comment to a female teacher. So the principal and all the male teachers took all the boys to the field, and we basically told them, listen, you've got to respect your female teachers. They're not some girls that you meet. They're not someone on TV. These are real people. They're someone's wife. They're someone's daughter, and they're your teachers. And you've got to respect them for that. So that's an important one. You can get male role models to talk with them, especially if it's a coach or someone that they respect. Then she said, have a word with the students. Make sure that they are clear on where you stand. And then she also said, remember to write things down. Have some kind of evidence that something happened, right? You don't want to be caught without evidence. So let's say a boy made a remark, you can talk to the boy and then also write it down. Say, I talked about it. And then when you talk to the boy, tell him, listen, this is inappropriate. And if you do this again, I'm going to have to talk to your parents about this, because that's not how it's supposed to be. Now, let me give you what I think about this. And guys, if you want to put in some questions, put it in there. Let me tell you about what I think. Because obviously there's a male view and a female view. We've seen many things in the past. So attraction will always be there. The reason for it is, sorry about that. Yeah, it's a bit strange with the music. I hope you guys can hear me okay. So let's first look at what attraction is. Attraction is, why are we attracted to people? Why are women attracted to men? It's usually because they're confident and they're social, they're leader of their group. Now, sometimes in schools, some boys are just naturally more confident. They're more alpha. And they might be naughty or nice, but a lot of, so they might say things, because they're perhaps good looking or something, they might say things and they might try things. Now, in case that happens, I think the main thing about being a teacher is you have to enforce your boundaries. Boundaries are so important as a teacher. Once something like that happens, you've got to immediately tell them, listen guys, this is my boundary. This is not supposed to happen. I don't want to see this happening. If it happens again, I'm going to have to talk to your parents, or we're going to have to talk to the principal or something, because this is a class. I'm a professional. I am not your girlfriend. I'm not some girl on TV. You don't catcall me. You don't give me this bad attention, this vibe that you give me. I'm your teacher, and you will respect that. A lot of times teachers feel like they want students to like them, because if students like them, they perform better. But I would rather have a student that respects me and that follows my instruction than a student that does nice things, but actually, I have to put up with some of his bad behavior. And I think that's very important. I wish I could restate that. So be sure of your boundaries. I talked to another teacher, a teacher actually I went to university with. I haven't spoken to her in 10 years, and I asked her, listen, you're a female teacher, you've been through it, what did you do? And how are you guys doing? Feel free to put messages in. Sorry guys if it's a bit shaky. I don't have my cam, it's outside here in Busan. And by the way, guys, be safe. I see a lot of people are wearing masks because of the coronavirus. Just be safe when you go into public, especially if it's crowded. Take care of yourself. I know it's not that widespread, but prevention is better than the cure. So wear a mask and, be sure to wash your hands and, try and do all the things to stay safe. I'm trying to stay healthy. I don't know. I'm having a peach yogurt smoothie. I've actually been recovering from a cold if my voice sounds weird. Okay, so what did I just say? Let me say it again. As a teacher, you're supposed to have boundaries. Students should know exactly where they stand with you, and if they cross that boundary, you've got to put them straight. You can do it in a kind way. First, you can say, okay, guys, I don't want to hear that again, right? But if they cross that boundary, you've got to put them straight and say, listen, no more of this, especially if it's a topic like that can lead to sexual harassment. That's the last thing any teacher wants on their resume. So be very cautious about that. So I was talking to my friend from university. She's a female teacher. She's been teaching for 10 years too. And she told me, Eric, yeah, I've been in some of those situations, especially when I was younger. I was a new teacher because I was so close. She was teaching high school and she's 24 and some of these guys are 18. Some of them didn't failed a couple of years, so they might even be a similar age, And she said, when I was younger, it was really difficult because I didn't have that self-confidence to deal with them, and I wanted the students to like me. So I wasn't that strict. But as I became more confident and sure of my boundaries, I would immediately put them down, and she would give them harsh words too. She used the example, if a boy said something like, "Oh, miss, let's go have a beer together," she's like, "I'm sorry, you're too ugly. I don't go for ugly guys." She would make comments like that to put them down. Personally, you can do it, and if it's in good fun, especially if they're in a group, you actually put them down in a funny way. But you've got to be sure of where you are and that they know your boundaries and that you know your boundaries and enforce them. Sorry. Yeah, where did I put that now? Yeah, I'm just in Busan visiting some friends. I've still got a couple of weeks free. I'm working on topics. The next video I'm bringing out is on Wednesday for Valentine's activities. What about you guys? Also, you said you had a tough week. What was wrong? Just difficult students? And anybody else, if you want to add something, please bring it out. I had a paper here with some of the ideas I wrote down. Can't find it right now. Yeah, so attraction, especially if it comes from boys to women, these catcalling things, they're growing up. They don't know what to do. They've got TV, and these are the people close to you, the people in your life, and they only see their teachers. So it's normal for them to have crushes. Nazar, how you doing? I know that earlier you said that this topic isn't that great, but I just gave my thoughts on it about students giving inappropriate attention to teachers. And my base of it is to say that when we're a new teacher, it can be difficult to have boundaries because we want students to like us. But very quickly, we got to be sure of where we stand with students, and we got to let them know what our boundaries is, what is okay and what's not. Me? I'm doing well. I came to visit a friend in Busan. It's a coastal city here in Korea, the second largest city. Last night we went out, had a few drinks, and I'm so surprised how many people are out there. Right now I'm living in a small town. So for me to come to a city and see, wow, so many people out, it's kind of fun, because if you're living alone like I do, it can get lonely sometimes and a bit boring. So it's good to get out and see other places. I mean, besides talking with you guys, I've got limited contact and limited connection. Yeah, do you guys like this live stream? I know the quality isn't great and it keeps on reconnecting. I don't have my notepad with ideas next to me to talk about. So yeah, it's a bit new for me too. It's a weird, I'm a female teacher and well, that's great. Well, Nazar, I've got thanks. Yeah, that's Gwangan Beach. Nazar, so you've got zero problems with your students. Do you think it's because you're a strict teacher? Are you sure of yourself, or do you just think your students, maybe the school environment is really good? Because I'm curious why that is, because I know other teachers are having problems with this. And I want to talk about the difference between male teachers and female teachers. Why? Because when we look in the news, we see a lot of inappropriate behavior between teachers and students. Most of the cases that make the news are actually with female teachers that have inappropriate relationships with with their students. And I kind of thought about this because this isn't. I went online and I was trying to research it. I was trying to look up why this happens, but nobody's talking about it. There's very little information out there, so I have to kind of like work it through in my head, and then I want to share it to think about it. So here's my opinion on it. I'm going to first look at men, because maybe 4 or 5 years ago, there was a big story in the news. Okay, feels unsatisfied. He's good at English. He's facing me and criticizing me. Okay, I see. Okay, so Elsa, you've got a frustrated male student. He's unsatisfied. He's good at English, but not excellent, so he's criticizing you. Okay, that can be a very tough one to deal with. I think it's, if you get students that criticize your work, that can be really difficult. Especially, but if you know that you're doing the best job for that student, you got to let him know. And, as teachers, we're supposed to take criticism. We're supposed to deal with it because nobody's perfect. But if he's making you feel uncomfortable and, he's making you feel bad because he's not reaching that excellent level, you got to be honest with him and say, listen, this is a relationship, the teacher-student relationship where we help each other. And I'm not responsible for your marks solely. You're also responsible. I can give you advice and I can help you to become better. And I can give you some ideas on what to work. But I am not responsible for your marks, and you can't blame me. You are responsible for your marks, and I can only guide you. That's what a teacher is, a guide, not responsible for their marks. I think you should sit down with that student and let him know what's up. Naza, some students lack discipline, but once you deal with their bad behavior appropriately, right. Okay, I think the reason I started this channel is because as a new teacher, it's very difficult to know how to deal with bad behavior from students. So I think it comes with experience, and it also comes with your training, and also yourself as a person, Naza. If you're new to teaching, it's kind of difficult to tell the students to exactly guide the students to have better behavior or to punish them. And that's a very difficult thing, because I feel like a lot of universities don't teach that very well, and it's something you learn over time, but it's difficult to explain to someone else. But student behavior is the reason that most teachers leave teaching and leave education, because most of them, if you're in a toxic environment where the students just make your life hell because of their behavior, most teachers will leave. I mean, I don't want to teach in a school where the students, give me hell and make my life miserable. If I was at a school and I had a low salary but amazing students that just love me and do their best, I would stay there in a heartbeat. Right. Act as leaders and bosses. I mean, there is a difference between a boss and a leader. There's a definite, but I would rather see a teacher being too strict and too bossy than not being a leader enough. I hope by talking about these things that we can start getting the mindset of how can we be a leader? How can we control the students, and how can we get the best out of them too? This series I'm working on, I know I'm talking about it a lot, but it's because I'm very passionate about it. It's all about teaching situations that we can use in the classroom. How do we get the best out of the students, and what do we do if something happens? And that's actually, I've got a question for you guys. What is one of the most difficult teaching situations that you have? Is it, just a noisy class? Is it one student in a class? Is it a problem student? Is it your relationship with other teachers? Is it the material, the course? Is it the lesson planning? So what situations, if you could 100% control that situation, would make your life better? What is your pain point with teaching? That's my question to you guys. I think for myself, if I have to talk about what my problem is with teaching, I would say it is preparation. Not just preparation, but just saving all the work I have and being better at managing all my lesson planning. Because I feel I prepare for my lessons, but it's still a weakness of mine that I don't have everything saved up. I mean, I've almost been teaching for 15 years and I've had some great lessons, but I haven't saved all of it. And now today we're very lucky to have things like Google Drive, where we can save all our ideas, and that's what we have to do. Yeah, you too, Elsa? Yeah, I think we should try and get in that habit of saving all the good things. And that's why I like what I'm doing now on the channel is, I'm bringing out the length of the syllabus. How does it work in your country, your curriculum, your syllabus? Do you have to plan ahead? You have to plan for the whole year or just for the semester? Because, I think when I was teaching in South Africa, the toughest part for me as a new teacher was walking into a class and they tell me you have to create your own curriculum and syllabus. You've got a week, 2 semesters, right? So you've got your yearly planning, and then you plan for the semesters, and you've got your grading. That is the worst feeling, hoping that something can come up in your class. I think this happened to me. I think a couple of weeks ago I was doing those classes, that winter camp, and I've always got some playing cards with me. These are cards and games that I know work, right? And some worksheets that I always have that students just love using, and I always keep it as a backup. And I think as a teacher, always have backups for your lessons in case you run out of time. So I started the class and I didn't have my cards. I didn't take it with me, and suddenly I'm stuck. I'm like, okay, Eric, time to hope that teaching brain of yours works and you start becoming creative. Fortunately, it worked out, but I would have been, okay, students only have 3 hours a week of English. 10 units to cover, 3 hours a week. Yeah, that sounds about similar to what it was like in South Africa. Do you think that time is enough, or they're trying to give you too much to do in too little time? Because I feel the other thing is, you've got your syllabus, you've got your work that you have to cover, and then you've got to find time to actually do the grading. You've got to do testing or, activities. You've got to find a way to grade them. And you've got to factor in all these things. It's not enough at all. You need more time. Man, time is such a valuable resource. And if we're not, how many years have you worked at the school, Nazar? Because I feel the other thing is, I wish that when I was teaching before that I had more support from my superiors, like my head teacher and a grade head. I wish they gave me more support, but basically they make a mistake. Teachers, the head teacher would start the year off and they would say, okay, does everybody understand this? And as a teacher, you don't want to say, I don't understand, I need help. We say, no, I understand everything. And then you go back home and you sweat and you try and work out how can you do all this work you have to do in this limited amount of time. Oh, does this sound okay? I've got this mic, but it kind of broke. Yeah, you don't complain. Yeah, I feel as teachers, we don't want to complain, right? And it's actually very similar with students. If you've got a class of students and you explain a topic to them and you look at the class and you say, okay guys, who doesn't understand? The students will just stay quiet and hope a friend can tell them or hope they can figure it out. What we should be doing instead is sitting down with people and saying, okay, or if you have a class, you just basically say, yeah, you try and find it by yourself. If you're lucky, maybe you have someone to work with. Hi, Tony. You measure the progress of English improvement in your classes. I'm about to take on a class with a low level. Very good question. I'll answer that now. I just want to quickly look at Naza. She was saying that she's not asking for help. Guys, they always say find a mentor. So if you can have another teacher to work with, to ask questions from, in your grade meetings, make sure that, you ask questions and you get help with things. Photocopy everything you need from your head teacher. I remember that's the most stressful thing for me, because if your paperwork isn't done and your files aren't sorted and your grading isn't done, you as a teacher, that's the most stressful thing. So that's also the part we have to try and solve. So I would say, ask your head of department, ask him to sit down for a little bit, ask another teacher that you respect, hey, listen, I really need just some help. Don't be shy to ask for help. That being said, be as well prepared as you can be. Okay, now, very important, I'm going to switch topics quickly to Tony's. Oh, by the way, guys, that's the bridge, Gwangan Diamond Bridge. You can see they light it up. And every October, they've got a massive fireworks festival. This whole street down here, the whole beach and the whole street, I think it's almost 6 million people packed on this area. I always do things? My solution is giving extra hours. Okay. Okay, well, Naza, it sounds like, you've got issues, but I'm very proud of you working through those issues, right? Yeah, Iko, I thought I came to visit a friend in another city, and I thought instead of showing you guys my boring room, I thought I'd come and show you something different. It's a little bit different for me too. The quality is probably not that good, but I like talking with you guys and showing you something different. Yeah, I came here for the weekend. It's a really nice area. Okay, now, an English question from Tony. Tony said, how do you measure a student's English performance, especially low level? See, it's very difficult. Something like a language. People, when you learn a language, it doesn't feel like you're improving, right? Maybe you learn new words, maybe you practice, maybe you become confident, but it's not like you can measure it. It's not like a cup of water and you can see how much it fills up, right? It's very difficult to say, oh, Mom, I've improved my English. It's something that isn't tangible. So what I've done in the past, when you first test the students, one of the first activities you can say, okay, guys, this year we're going to learn 200 new words. We're going to learn some grammar. We're going to learn some tenses. And I also want you can also perhaps ask them, so how confident are you about talking about topics? How confident are you at public speaking? And they can give a 6 or 7 out of 10. Then you tell them throughout the course, check off how many new vocabulary words did they learn, how many tenses. Make sure that they understand that they are growing, they are improving. And at the end of the class, you can say, okay, guys, let's see how you improved. How many new words did you learn? And that's basically why we have tests. It's a formative way to actually show how students have improved. But what you can do is better. You should make it personal to them and say, okay, look at what you couldn't do when we started this class. And towards the end, remind them, look at what you've learned. And the student can say, oh, I learned this word, we learned this grammar, we did this. It's one of the things that I think you can do. I think I just chased away some of the people here sitting next to me, some of the boys speaking too loud. It's that's kind of what I think. I don't know if it helps, Tony. It's just something I thought of at the moment. Yeah, guys, so what about the rest of you? How was your weekend? I want to know. So I came to the city, so many people, everybody's wearing a mask because of the coronavirus. Your country is okay. Stay safe if you're in a busy hub like, Hong Kong or a busy area. Stay safe. And also, did you have a good weekend? For me, it was nice catching up with my friend and getting away from home. Tomorrow is Super Bowl. I'm not really interested in American football, but I do like events. I like I like big sporting events. So maybe I'll go to, I might go to the Olympics to check that out. I really like events like that. So tomorrow morning, I'll watch the Super Bowl in America just to have that experience. And then I'll go home to work on to prepare for my classes next semester and make some more videos. Yeah, guys, anything else you want to talk about? My arm's getting kind of heavy. I feel like I had so many things I wanted to talk about male and females, relationships, but I think I'll have to keep it till another time. I hope I got the basics through to you. Remember, as a teacher, how you feel and your boundaries are super important, and you have to make sure that students also respect your boundaries. That's the most important thing of a teacher, because you can't teach if they don't. Sunny, but today I'm staying at home working and planning. Such a good teacher, Elsa. Yeah, no, I took a little bit of a break. Came down here. It was a bit expensive, but sometimes you have to get away and try something different. Yeah, glad that you had a good time in Portugal. I heard that Portugal it's one of the most visited countries. Is something like that? Is that true? Sorry, I'm looking down. I'm so used to. I know that the camera's up there. Portugal is a really busy country. How about you guys? Naza, Tony, your country's okay? You had a good weekend? Before I say goodbye, yeah, I think not much going on in my life. I'm just doing stuff on weekends, and during the week I go to work, go to the gym, need to lose a few pounds, and lots of tourists. Hopefully in the future you'll have one more in me. Yeah, no. Oh, Morocco. Oh, I miss the sun. I'm from you guys know I'm also from South Africa, so I miss the sun. And right now it's still winter in Korea, as you can see. So hopefully a month or 2 months from now it'll be spring and I can have some warm weather too. Okay, Jackson. Oh, you were at the beach? Oh, I missed you then. Oh, this beach or another beach? Oh man, I love going to the beach. Maybe if you follow my Instagram, you've probably seen me at the beach a lot. I love because you were here in Gwangon. Oh, it's a shame I missed you. Yeah, this is Gwangon is nice. I really like coming here during summer if the water is nice. Yeah, okay guys, I'm just rambling on. I think I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the view, and I know it's been a bit rambly because I'm not used to doing it in public. But yeah, thank you so much. Have a great week. Elsa, I hope you get some more energy and things go well. And Jackson, I'll talk to you again. Maybe I'll come back next week. So yeah, have a good night. It's almost 11:30 now. Yeah, Tony, Naza, thank you so much. Mom, I'll talk to you guys soon. Oh, on Wednesday, I've got a short Valentine's Day activities video that comes out. Watch that. I hope it's got some ideas. Okay, everyone, have a good day or night, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.